Mitrice Richardson was just 24 years old when she vanished on a September night in 2009. Bright, adventurous, and deeply loved by her family, she was the kind of young woman who filled rooms with laughter. But in the weeks leading up to her disappearance, those closest to her noticed subtle changes, moments of confusion, fragments of behavior that seemed unusual. No one could have imagined how quickly things would spiral. On the evening of September 16th, Mitrice drove to an upscale restaurant in Malibu. She ordered dinner, mingled with strangers, and spoke in ways that startled those around her, talking about abstract concepts, making cryptic comments. When the bill came, she didn't pay. Staff called police, who soon discovered a small amount of marijuana in her car. She was arrested, taken to the Lost Hills Sheriff Station, and booked on minor charges. But this wasn't just about an unpaid meal. Officers noted her strange behavior, yet they claimed she seemed lucid enough to be released. Around midnight, Mitrice was let out of the station, alone. She had no phone, no wallet, and no car. It had been impounded. She walked out into the darkness of Malibu Canyon with nothing but the clothes on her back. Her family was horrified when they learned what had happened. They had pleaded with deputies to keep her overnight, insisting something was wrong. But the department brushed aside their concerns. The next morning, when Mitrice didn't come home, panic set in. Search efforts stretched across the rugged canyons. Witnesses reported seeing someone resembling Mitrice wandering through nearby properties, barefoot and disoriented, speaking to herself. It was as if she was lost in another world. Then silence. She was gone. For months, her family pressed authorities for answers, accusing the sheriff's department of negligence. How could they release a vulnerable young woman into the wilderness in the dead of night? The case became a lightning rod for discussions about mental health, racial disparities, and law enforcement responsibility. Nearly a year later, hikers stumbled upon skeletal remains deep in a ravine, just a few miles from the station where she had been released. They were identified as Mitrice. The discovery brought heartbreak, but not closure. Her body raised more questions than it answered. She was partially unclothed, and despite extensive searches in the same area earlier, her remains had never been found. Authorities declared there was no evidence of foul play, but her family was left with doubts that linger to this day. Mitrice Richardson's disappearance wasn't just another tragic case. It was a story about systems that failed to protect someone in crisis, about a daughter taken too soon, and about a family forced to fight not only for answers, but for her dignity. To this day, her mother believes that the choices made that night sealed Mitrice's fate, saying, "They let my baby walk out into the dark, and she never came back." The truth of what happened in those canyons remains uncertain. Was Mitrice a victim of foul play? Did she succumb to the elements while lost and confused? Or was there something more that authorities have never revealed? Whatever the case, her story continues to haunt, a chilling reminder of how a single decision can change everything, and how, sometimes, justice never fully arrives.